Assalamu alaikum and welcome grade 5 to the new lesson coordinates. Let's get started. We use a horizontal line called the x-axis and a vertical line called the y-axis as a reference lines to identify a point on a grid. So let's suppose we have this grid, right? And we have here the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis and the y-axis are perpendicular to each other. Okay, perpendicular means they form right angle. Okay, so this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. Okay, when they comes together, they form right angle. So we say they are perpendicular. All right. So this is the grid, okay. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and we use these two lines as reference lines. Why? To identify a point on a grid. For example, point A, point B, point C, point D. All right. We're going to recognize this later. So we use coordinates to identify the position of a point on the grid. To be able to identify any point and its position on a grid, we need to use coordinates, right? So this is the coordinates, okay? The x-axis, y-axis called coordinates. The coordinates of A means the coordinates of point A are 2, 3. We write A, then we open two brackets and we put 2, 3 to represent its position. The first number 2 is the x coordinates. It's 2 units along the x-axis. This is point A. Okay, if we go along, if we go vertically until we reach the x-axis, we will reach to the point 2. So that's why we wrote 2 here. Okay, if we go horizontally and reach the y-axis, we will see we will reach the point 3. That's why we wrote 3 here. So the point A, 2, 3 to represent its position. And first the number 2 is the x coordinate. So it's 2 units along the x-axis. This is the x-axis. Okay, this is 1, 2 points. Okay, on the x-axis. The second number 3 is the y coordinate. It's 3 units along the y-axis. This is 3 points on the y-axis. And the point A lays on the point 3 on the y-axis. All right. Okay, I want you to look at these coordinates. The coordinates of B are 3, 2. Where is the point B on the grid? It's here. Okay, this point is like 3, 2 on the coordinates, which means 3 on the x-axis and 2 on the y-axis. So the point P makes the number 3 on the x-axis, and it lies on the point 2 on the y-axis. The coordinates of C, the coordinates of the point C are 2 and 0, right? Because it lies down on the x-axis at the point 2. Right, and it lies along the y-axis at the point 0. If we go, okay, from this is the point C. If we go along to reach the y-axis, we will reach the point 0 here. Okay. The coordinates of D, where is D? It's here, right? Okay. If it lies on the y-axis on the point 0, so it's 0 here, and it lies on the y-axis at the point 2. So we say the coordinates of D are 0, 2. 0 on the x-axis, 2 on the y-axis. The order of how we write the x coordinates and y coordinates is very important. Why? Because the point 2, 3 and 3, 2 are totally different points, right? So we can say that 2, 3 is the same as 3, 2. If we want the point 2, 3 on the grid or on the coordinates, we say 2, 3 is like, this is 2 on the x-axis and this is 3 on the x-axis. It's the point A. But the number or the point 3, 2 is like 3 on x-axis, 2 on y-axis. Okay, 3 on x-axis. Okay, we go along until we comes to the point 2 on the y-axis, which is B. So these 2 points are totally different. Their positions are different. We have a question here, says plot and label the points x 2 and 1, y 4 and 1, and z 5 and 4. Then join the points to form a shape. First of all, we need to mark and label the points x, y, and z on the grid. This is the grid, and these are the coordinates, x-axis, y-axis. The point x is 2, 1. Where is the point 2, 1 on the grid? It's easy to find that because we just need to find the point 2 on the x-axis and the point 1 on the y-axis. The point 2 on the x-axis is here, okay, and the point on 1 on the y-axis here. We just connect between these 2 points until we reach or to find this position, which is the position of the point x. Y 4, 1. Okay, where is the 4? Where is the 1? 4 should be on the x-axis, 1 should be on the y-axis. Right? So this is 4 on the x-axis and this is 1 on the y-axis. Okay, we just move along these 2 points until we reach just make a meeting point here. Then we can find the position of the point y. Finally, we find the position of the point z. We mark it on 5, 4. 5 on x-axis, 4 on y-axis. This is 5 on x-axis. We go along, okay, and then we find the point here because it lies down on the point or the number 4 on y-axis as it's written here. So it's 4, 5, 4. This is the point 5, 4. Okay. This is the first step. We need to mark and label the points x, y, and z on the grid. Second point or second step, we need to use a ruler to join between the points y, x, y, and z. So we start off from the point x, and then we must draw or plot a line from between x and y. After that, a line between y and z. Finally, we plot a line from z to x, so that we got the shape on the grid and we form it correctly. Okay guys, this is the end of today's lesson. I'll see you inshallah in the next lesson.